Hello, Apex Hours. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Jillian Bruce, and I have got a great presentation lined up for you. Shout out. Thank you, Amit, for asking me to share with you today. I'm going to talk to you all about skills that help you be a successful Salesforce administrator. And there's a lot there for you, even if you aren't even an admin. I bet some of you watching are like, I'm not an administrator. I don't care about this, but actually you should. So whether you're a developer or an architect, just even a user of Salesforce, or maybe you don't even have that first role in your Salesforce ecosystem, in the Salesforce ecosystem yet, this content is still for you, because guess what? These skills are going to help you be successful regardless of which career path you are in or with which career path you are starting. These skills are going to be very, very helpful to know about. Okay, so before we get into all the good stuff, guess what? I get to show you the forward-looking statement slide, because even though this is Apex Hours, I'm still part of Salesforce. So I'm going to get in trouble if I don't show you this. This is just a reminder to please make your purchasing decisions based on currently available features and functionality. All right, with that out of the way, let me formally introduce myself. I am Jillian Bruce. I'm a principal admin evangelist here at Salesforce. I've been at Salesforce over 13 years, and I am so passionate about Salesforce admins. My whole job is to empower, enable, and inspire people like you to be Salesforce admins. And Salesforce admins are really special because you are the ones that transform your organizations, your careers, and your communities using Salesforce. I've heard hundreds of thousands of stories over the years, and they never stop. In fact, it's why I'm so happy and thankful to be part of this community, because without you and all that you do in the Trailblazer community for each other, for us to help direct us with the product, I don't have a job. So Salesforce is really unique in that the Salesforce administrator role only exists within the context of Salesforce. Think about it. What other big platforms can you work on and build on without having to know how to code? Not very many. So this is a really unique, amazing role, and it's a beautiful Trailblazer ecosystem that is made up of many, many admins, and you all are so passionate about helping each other grow and learn and gain opportunities, and it's just incredible. So thank you for being part of the community. Also, thank you for taking the time today to invest in yourself, watch this Apex Hours, and learn about these skills, because no one else is going to thank you for it, but I will. All right, so let's talk about what a Salesforce administrator is. Now, over the last, let's say, 10 years, the Salesforce ecosystem has transformed quite a bit. Am I right? So what we thought of as a Salesforce admin 10 years ago is not necessarily the same thing as a Salesforce admin today. We realized that a couple years ago because we were getting feedback that job descriptions weren't matching the actual requirements of doing the job, and employers didn't know what they needed to look for to hire, and people were looking to build their career as a Salesforce admin, didn't know what skills they really needed. There was a disconnect there. So our team did a ton of research, a ton of surveys, a ton of focus groups, talking to workplace development organizations, talking to employers, talking to partners, to really define what an admin who is working in today's world. What is that admin? What is the definition of a Salesforce admin? And so this is what we came up with. A Salesforce administrator solves business problems by customizing the Salesforce platform. Now, to be clear, we didn't come up with that. You all came up with it, and we condensed it and reflected it. Now, it's a really powerful statement because it really does demonstrate that admins, you're the agents of transformation. But you might be like, that's great, Jillian, but I need it a little broken down than that. Like, that's pretty general. Okay, so let's break it down. From doing all this research, we came up with 4 core responsibilities that all admins need to do. And that includes supporting users, managing data, managing security standards, and delivering actionable analytics. Okay, so those are kind of the 4 core responsibilities. And those are really important, and those are all elements of every single Salesforce admin job. But you also may be like, that's great, Jillian, you gave me these 4 core responsibilities, but like, how do I really even get in the nitty gritty of that? How do I look at those in a real way? How do I do that, right? Good news. We got you covered. So we broke it down even further. And what we wanted to do is really get down to those tactical skills that you can really focus and build on to help you deliver those 4 core responsibilities of being a Salesforce admin. So when you really think about it, right, what's really unique about being a Salesforce admin is that you know the business and you know the technology of Salesforce. You add them together and oh my goodness, you get awesome admin success. That's where you really deliver the magic to your organization. You get to harness the power of Salesforce and put it in the context of your business to help drive more efficiency, to help reduce costs, to help be more successful, make your customers happier, you name it. The combining of the business skills and the technology skills is really the secret to admin success. So, what are these business skills of which you talk about, Jillian? I will tell you. So, business skills are really the things that you layer on top of the technology skills, right? You can learn technology skills. We have amazing content on Trailhead to help you learn how to, customize a page or manage security settings or build a flow. But what you need to know is the context of when to use those skills, right? When to implement the technology, when to build, why to build. And that's where those business skills are going to come in to really help you figure that out. So, what are these 14 business skills? Well, let's talk about them. So, we've got product management, user management, data management, change management, security management, business analysis, one of my favorites. We got process automation. It always makes me want to pretend like I can do the robot, which I cannot. Designer's mindset, data analysis, problem solving, communication, learner's mindset, and attention to detail. That's one I always struggle with. So those are the 14 skills. And now I know you may be saying that sounds a little overwhelming. It's a lot. It can be a lot, but don't worry, you do not need all 14 of these to be a successful Salesforce admin. What we wanted to do is really kind of give you a guide, a blueprint to help you figure out your own path to success. Okay. Well, we figured out the 14 skills, but we also wanted to enable you to learn more about them, to understand how to talk about those skills within the context of Salesforce. Say you might be trying to write a resume or write a job description, and you want to know how to describe those skills in those contexts. So we built out this whole Salesforce admin skills kit for you. And what that is a beautiful page on the site. I'm going to demo it for you in just a minute, where it delineates each one of the skills and gives you resources to write a job description, to write it on your resume, or resources to help you hone and further develop those skills. So let's dig in to a demo, because it's not a Salesforce presentation unless you've got a demo, in my opinion. So here we are on my favorite webpage, admin.salesforce.com. There's a lot of great resources on here. If you've never checked it out, go open it up on your mobile device or your second screen. I know you've all got it. You're multitasking. You're watching something. I get it. It's fine. The only thing you're allowed to multitask, though, is by going to admin.salesforce.com. Okay? So admin.salesforce.com. Career development, right under that menu bar, we've got the Salesforce Admin Skills Kit. When I open that up, ta-da, look, there's another video of me. Don't you just want more videos of me? Ugh, even I get tired of me sometimes, seriously. But here we've got the Skills Kit. And in the Skills Kit, we've got a lot of resources here. So first at the top, you'll see we've made this for 3 specific audiences. We've made it for job seekers who are looking to get a Salesforce admin job. We've made it for employers who are looking to hire Salesforce admins. And then for admins who are already in an admin role, but maybe looking for tools and framework to help capture the work you're doing and explain it to your stakeholders, to your boss, to maybe help you argue for that promotion, or maybe to jump to that next Salesforce admin role, help grow your team. This is really framework to help you do all of these things. Okay, so let's dig into the kit. You scroll further down on the page here and you've got a little title card for every single skill in the skill kit. We've got, let's just dig into one of them right here, right in the middle here, data analysis. So when you click on one of these skills, you're going to see the definition of what it means within the context of being a Salesforce administrator. So data analysis is provide reporting on a regular basis to help users and executives gain insights and make decisions from Salesforce data. Okay, but then you've got these 3 tabs here. This first tab is for job seekers and existing admins. This is language that you can use to write on your resume, to put in your promotion document, to help capture the work that you do within the context of Salesforce in a way that really makes sense and demonstrates the impact of the work that you do. Then if you're an employer, you can click on this tab. And this is some sample language to help you target someone who has that data analysis skill in the job posting that you're putting out there. And then finally, you've got a resources tab here. In this resources tab, you will see trailhead content, blog content, podcast content, content from community leaders and experts. These are all resources to help you further develop or hone the skill. And most of this content is not created by me or Salesforce people. It's by community experts. So people who are really specialists in this arena. Okay. So that is the skills kit. You can click on that for every single skill that you see in the kit. I highly recommend you go there. Like I said, you can go there get there by going to admin.salesforce.com. You can also just admin.salesforce.com/skills kit. Pretty easy. All right, let's get back into the slides, and I'm going to give you a little breakdown of how you can really put this to work. Okay. So we talked about how this was for 3 different audiences. And those 3 audiences are really job seekers, employers, and existing admins, right? This kit is meant to help understand the skills required to be successful as a Salesforce admin and giving you the tools to use the language to describe that in those 3 different contexts. So let's start with job seekers here. I bet a lot of you watching this are currently looking for a job or maybe looking for a new job. This is going to apply to a lot of you. So this is a great resource to help you when you're writing your resume and preparing for interviews, because it's going to give you the language to describe your skills in the context for the role you're looking for as a Salesforce admin. Let's break down a few of these. So for example, communication. It's one of my favorite Salesforce admin skills. It's actually one of my favorite skills, period. I do a lot of communicating. Some may say over communicate or never stop communicating. That's the way it is. So communication. So communication within the context of a Salesforce admin role is all about collaborating with business and technical stakeholders to design, configure, and implement Salesforce. Okay, so what might this look like if you're creating your resume? Well, we gave you some sample language here. So you might want to write how you built strong relationships with internal stakeholders, including, the marketing team. Or maybe that you participated in or organized regular Salesforce stakeholder meetings to review business needs, processes, and technical requirements, really demonstrating you can communicate across different orgs and different roles. Or maybe you could put it in the context by writing something about how you've increased user adoption by 50% by delivering regular training sessions for new Salesforce users. Those are all ways to really demonstrate that communication skill on your resume. All right, another example, because I always like doing 2 examples. You'll see for every section, I've got 2 examples. So learner's mindset. Learner's mindset is super important within the context of a Salesforce admin role, because guess what? We have 3 releases a year. The platform is constantly evolving and growing and changing and getting better. And sometimes we fix things and sometimes we change things. It's really important as a Salesforce admin, you really understand the technology that you are managing. So it's all about continually staying up to date with new Salesforce tech and inspiring others to do the same. And if you want to represent this on your resume, you could write how you continuously look for ways to increase knowledge for yourself and others, that you possess a current Salesforce admin certification of any level, maybe that you're a ranger on Trailhead and you've completed a certain number of badges. All great ways to demonstrate that you've got the learner's mindset skill. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you may be like, great, so I don't have that Salesforce job yet. And I have maybe 10 years of experience in another industry. Maybe you've worked in retail or hospitality, or maybe you worked in a lab analyzing data. Guess what? You've got transferable skills. So when you're looking at the skills kit, those 14 skills, while those are really specific to being a Salesforce admin, it's also a really good framework to understand which of your skills are transferable. How can you translate the skills that you got from an existing industry, existing experience, and translate them over into the Salesforce ecosystem speak? Because believe me, there's a vernacular in Salesforce, as you know. So think about it, right? I mean, one of the things that I hear all the time from folks is, I'm trying to do this mid-career transition. I've been doing real estate for 12 years. Can I really be a Salesforce admin? And my answer is yes, of course you can. Also, don't throw away that 12 years of experience. Really use that to enrich the skills that you can bring as a Salesforce admin. If you've got 12 years of experience in real estate, guess what? You know the real estate business. You know client relations. You know sales. Like there's tons of things that you know from that you can really bring in to make yourself a really successful Salesforce admin. For example, 2 examples again. I like two examples. So let's talk about the 2 skills I just talked about, right? Communication. So in the context of Salesforce, it's all about collaborating with business and technical stakeholders, right? To design and configure and implement Salesforce. Well, let's say you work in retail. What communication skills do you have from that you may be able to transfer over? Well, you clearly, you're working with managers, suppliers, and customers to ensure a positive in-store experience for folks when they come in, right? That's very similar. Let's talk about learner's mindset. In Salesforce, it's all about staying up to date with the latest and greatest releases and the technology. Well, if you're, again, going back to that retail example, you always have to know the latest trends and keep up to date with new innovations and then demonstrate that knowledge with your clients, with your colleagues. So those are ways you could take something from a very seemingly disconnected industry and translate those skills into something very applicable as a Salesforce admin. Okay, if you have more questions on transferable skills, please reach out to me. I am very passionate about this and happy to help you. Okay, let's talk about this next group of people that this skills kit is for, and that is for employers. I see you out there, people who are hiring Salesforce admins, who are building teams, who maybe want to build teams. Guess what? This kit is so useful for you because it's really something you can use as a guide when you're writing up those job descriptions and interviewing candidates. Let's say you want to build and grow a team. Use the skills kit to demonstrate what a bigger team could do for your company, the value they could add. Okay, let's break it down into 2 examples, right? Two. All right, problem solving, a really important skill to have as a Salesforce admin. It's all about solving business problems using the Salesforce platform. Remember that original definition of what it is to be a Salesforce admin? This is kind of it. But how do you look for this in someone that you're trying to hire? How do you write for this and ask for this in that job description? Well, we got some sample language. Maybe you could say, I'm looking for someone who knows how to troubleshoot problems, implement suitable solutions in a timely manner. Or looking for somebody who collaborates with stakeholders and designs technical solutions to meet business needs. And another example could be, you're looking for somebody to implement Salesforce solutions to solve business challenges, improve processes, and increase adoption. All ways to ask for that problem-solving skill in a job description. Let's do example 2, business analysis. So business analysis, come on. We all know this is really, really critically important, especially now as so many businesses are changing and evolving. Having the ability to improve efficiency of business operations by proactively undertaking regular process analysis and documentation is invaluable. Every Salesforce admin needs to have the skill. But if you're looking to hire someone who has the skill, how would you describe that? Well, we got some examples for you. You might want to say that you're looking for someone to improve business processes and efficiency in Salesforce using strong business analysis skills. Maybe you're looking for someone to analyze business processes and make data-driven recommendations for improvement. Or someone who possesses a deep understanding of Salesforce products, processes, and best practices. All great ways to ask and seek someone who has business analysis skills in that job description. Okay, let's talk about the last group of folks here. I imagine that's many of you tuning in right now. Those of you who are already admins and looking for ways to really capture the impact of the work you're doing and explain it to your stakeholders. Because let's be real, you're probably the only one at your organization who really understands what you do. So let's help you explain that to your employers. So this again is a very good guide to help you explain the work that you do and demonstrate the impact that you deliver to your organization. Let's start with my 2 examples. Example 1, user management. So every Salesforce admin, you manage your users. That is like just basic table stakes, right? But it's more than just, managing who has a login and who doesn't, but it's about customizing the user experience, right? Managing profiles, permissions, roles, groups. hopefully like permission sets, permission set groups. We might need to update the language here a little bit. Anyway, there are a lot of great examples of how to represent this on maybe your performance review or docs that you put together to demonstrate the impact that you have at the end of the year, which is a really good time to think about that because guess what? It's November. So you could say something like, I've supported 50 Salesforce users on a day-to-day basis, acting as a subject matter expert for all things Salesforce. You could say that you've designed and implemented a customized user experience, resulting in increased productivity. Or you could say you've created and implemented a Salesforce adoption strategy involved building and delivering multiple workshop and training materials, resulting in user adoption increasing by, let's say, 75%. That would be impressive. This is all just kind of a good example of how you can, include some metrics, include some impactful language here of the work that you do. And for my second example for this category, product management. So another thing that all very successful Salesforce admins do is you're a product manager. You're the product manager of Salesforce at your organization. So that's all about managing the end-to-end implementation of Salesforce, including the overall strategy and day-to-day activities involved in administering Salesforce. So how would you really capture this work, this skill, when you're trying to explain it to somebody else? Well, you could say that you demonstrated your knowledge of multiple products across the Salesforce platform. That would be maybe you've got, super badges in some of these areas or different certifications, or maybe you've rolled out different clouds to different departments. You could say that you've successfully partnered with internal stakeholders to plan, implement, and communicate Salesforce release changes 3 times a year, because again, they happen 3 times a year. Fun quiz fact. Anybody know which season does not have a Salesforce release? There are 4 seasons, 3 releases. Think about it. Or you could say, to demonstrate your product management skill, that you acted as a Salesforce subject matter expert and day-to-day point of contact for users, executives, vendors, development teams, and you were involved in setting up a cross-functional center of excellence or maybe a governance structure to assist with the evaluation of new features and adoption. All great ways to demonstrate that you have this product management skill to your stakeholders. Okay, we've covered job seekers, we've covered employers, we've covered admins. Now I'm going to give you 5, because I just love just holding up numbers on my hand and giving you points. 5 tips to get the most out of the skills kit. So number 1, familiarize yourself with all of the 14 skills before adding them to your resume or your job description. Just familiarize yourself for a minute and think about what they all mean. Really kind of take the time to understand what each one means within the context of Salesforce. Number 2, keep in mind that this is not intended to be a one-size-fits-all tool. It's intended to really be a guide that helps you select the skills that are most relevant to your situation. Number 3, do not need all 14 skills to be a successful Salesforce administrator. Nor should you include all of them on your resume or your job description. Just don't do it. Focus, people. 14 is a lot. Focus on the top few that really are important to you in either the job that you're seeking or the role that you're hiring or the work that you've been doing. Number 4, use the examples provided as a starting point. Don't just cut and paste. It's really obvious when you cut and paste and it's not your language. Use the phrases, use the framing, use some of the sample verbiage if you need to, but it's really supposed to be a guide, an example to kind of be like, oh, this is how I talk about it. Got it. And number 5, don't forget about transferable skills. I was really wanted to stress this so much earlier when I first started talking about the skills kit, but transferable skills are often the skills that really catapult you into a next level of Salesforce success. So don't throw away all that industry knowledge you have from your previous non-Salesforce life. Use all of that. Use the skills kit as a way to frame that experience and transfer those skills into your Salesforce admin role. Okay, with that, guess what? You can go to the skills kit right now. If you haven't already gone, go right now. admin.salesforce.com/skills kit. Play around. It's also a living, breathing thing. We, believe it or not, can update it at any time. So if you see something that's on there that you disagree with or you think could be better or something that's missing or something that shouldn't be on there, give us feedback. Right on the website, there's a place to provide feedback. So please provide feedback. The skills kit only exists because of the feedback that we have gotten from the community. So keep it coming. And if you want some more details, we have some great other resources for you. So in all of the resources for each of the 14 skills that I pointed out on the skills kit and the website, you've got at least one great community expert blog there. And this is something we released earlier this year as we were releasing the skills kit. We've got community experts for each one of the 14 skills, writing about the skill, what it means as a Salesforce admin to focus on this skill, how you can further develop it. And these are all amazing leaders in the Salesforce community. I highly recommend you read their content and then connect with them and ask them questions. With that, I want to leave you all with a reminder to please connect with us. We are at admin.salesforce.com, my favorite website. We are at Salesforce Admins No I on Twitter, and you can find us on YouTube. We've got some great video series, How I Solved It, Automate This with Jennifer Lee, some expert corner videos, just amazing content there. You're already on YouTube. Go check us out, and always connect with me. I'm at Jillian K. Bruce on Twitter, and I'm very reachable via LinkedIn as well. Thank you for having me today, and I'll catch you next time in the cloud.